One of the most anticipated vehicles of all time has just released some leaked videos. Let's get into this video and break down everything new about the Cybertruck. Before we do, you need to know where this Cybertruck came from, and if you want to skip right to those leaked videos, make sure to check out the links. They're in the description. You can skip ahead in the video if you want to skip straight to the good stuff. So you want to pay attention to a few things in these new images and videos we're about to show you that'll really make you understand what exactly you're looking at. And the initial images of the Cybertruck grew some concerns over the length of the vehicle. So some of the concerns over the length would be that it wouldn't fit in most people's garages. It was actually so long. And another factor is the front of the vehicle. So the initial prototype of the Cybertruck in the front of the vehicle, a few things. Well, we're going to look at where is that front storage on these new images, and we're going to see some slight changes to the design. And finally, we're going to go over probably the most controversial or talked about item of the Cybertruck, and that is the windshield wiper, and if there's going to be one, and the side mirrors. So just going around the vehicle right now, we can see here on the back fender, right above the wheel well, we can see what looks like an indentation almost where the charging port would be on the Cybertruck. Now, this would make sense. All of the charging ports are in the back left part of the vehicles currently, but we can see a slight indentation there that could potentially be where the charging port is. So here we can see that there are no more aero caps to the Cybertruck, and maybe this might be what is underneath the aero caps. Maybe they come with aero caps and this is what is revealed when you pull them off of the vehicle, but it is shown to be a bare rim in this vehicle currently, and we'll have to see if aero caps do come with the Cybertruck. So continuing on, we do not see any door handles. Now there are other vehicles, the more higher end models of Teslas that have self-presenting doors. So we don't see any handles here. So we're gonna have to determine how this will open, probably some type of self-presenting mechanism like I just said, or you can use your card or app to open the vehicle. Now there has been some talks about the length of the vehicle and potentially having multiple models of Cybertruck that are progressively smaller. So they might make one original size Cybertruck and one slightly smaller. Again, this is just rumors and speculation, but we can see here that the back end of the Cybertruck does look a slight bit smaller, I think, than what the prototype was initially showing. And then also, speaking of those self-presenting doors, we can see here a very slight line on the door frame itself where you might be instructed to place your card to unlock the vehicle or even swipe with your finger to open the car. So there has been a change, at least on this vehicle, we're seeing with the side cameras. Now initially it was a sort of a triangular glass enclosure, if you will, to the side cameras used in that Sentry mode and the Tesla Vision, and now it looks like a more rounded normal camera feature on the side of the vehicle as opposed to that glass triangular enclosure. So that is a big change, and obviously one of the biggest changes are these side mirrors. So now we see that the Cybertruck will come with side mirrors. Now Elon Musk has said that these side mirrors will be easily removable. But all in all, we do see the basic rundown of what the side of the Cybertruck will look like. And zooming out, you can see for the first time seeing that suspension peeking through of the front driver's side wheel. So we can see that aluminum looking suspension. Now we have to learn more about this, but this is the first time we've seen this up close. And then as the employee pivots around the vehicle, we can see that beautiful LED light headlight display, and it does go off here so you can see what it looks like when it's off. Now there are some rumors about where that frunk and what it'll look like, basically how that will look. Now, will it look like a Ford F-150 where it's very roomy, pretty deep storage space in the front? So we'll have to see how this opens up. We have not seen more than maybe one picture of the frunk in this Cybertruck yet. So there's a lot still to learn about what this potentially could look like. So it's interesting, you can actually see here that the employee says it looks like a stainless steel refrigerator, which always surprises me when you lend your time to a company and you're not fully behind the mission. But obviously there's all types of conversations around the Cybertruck, but we can see here that the front of the vehicle, now we were talking about this, it's a little more rounded. So on the prototype, it was a little more of an aggressive angle, I think, on that front bumper, if you will. Now it still looks pretty aggressive, but a little more rounded. So not so much more conservative, but definitely taking that more tailored look to the front versus that boxy kind of sharp angles that we've seen on the initial prototype. Now, the one big thing that definitely sticks out in this vehicle is that windshield wiper. Well, obviously you're gonna have to have something to remove the rain and the snow and things like that. So it does look like, at least on this latest version of the Cybertruck, that exposed windshield wiper. Now, the employee actually goes on to say that they don't really prefer how that looks. There you go. They actually said, is that a windshield wiper? It looks fragile. So definitely some opinions on the windshield wiper. You can see the side mirrors and how those do fold in. So again, is this going to be an electric function like your current Tesla would be? The side mirrors folding in just with a push of a button. But there's that windshield wiper. We'll see if that stays or not. But let's move on to the other side of the vehicle. So as we move around the vehicle, it is a little interesting because it does look like there may be a touch screen glimmering through that photo that we see. It might be a reflection of something behind the employee, but it looks like there might be some display. Is it the normal screen in the Tesla? Is it a second screen? But in all of these prototypes, it's really interesting to me that they make them with so dark window tint that you can't even see through the vehicle on these test prototypes. And I'm sure they do it on purpose, but here's a good side view of the car. Now the back of the vehicle has changed as well. Now there's no longer what I believe was a T-bar in the back of the truck area. Now, I don't know really too much about this, to be honest with you, but I know that that design has changed. It does look like they say you have plenty of storage. I know that this does close with a push of a button, which is really, really nice. It has that electric cover. It covers the entire thing like the employee is saying right there. So tons of space in the Cybertruck, and the back is completely modern. You can see that place for your license plate and traditional items like that, but at a push of a button, the ramp will come down as well, like this employee is talking about right here, and you can drive your four-wheeler or your Cyber Quad, whenever those come out, up into your Cybertruck. So what can we confirm? Well, we saw some major changes here, from the windshield wiper probably being the most prominent to those rims. Now, are they going to be an aero type of rim or what we saw here today? Time will tell on that. Is the Cybertruck slightly smaller or shorter than the initial prototype? Well, you can see these two employees standing next to the car. Now, it does look like a fairly reasonably sized truck, given the size next to the employees. We've seen changes to the cameras on the side of the Cybertruck. There's been a lot of changes. So we kind of wish that we saw inside of the vehicle, especially if they're working on this car. You would think that they'd have full access to the vehicle, but maybe in future vehicles, maybe they can get better angles on the inside of the vehicle. But there are some big changes here. Even the self-presenting doors, we did get a sneak peek, an up-close view of how to potentially open that, either with a slide of the finger or just scanning your Tesla card. So it's going to be really exciting, but when should you expect this car? When should we expect the Cybertruck? Well, there are rumors that the Cybertruck production is being pushed to 2023. If you haven't heard about this, this just came out recently. Now, Elon Musk had a goal of late 2022, with Giga Austin kicking off a majority of the production of Model Y and Cybertruck being the focus there in Austin. So the only way I know you enjoyed this Cybertruck content is to drop a like. I hope to see you on that earnings call. We're gonna have a full video review on it, so make sure to subscribe to see all the latest information and updates from Tesla. Again, this is Matt from Frunk to Trunk. We will see you in the next video.